Hey, you're back. Welcome to another video in the world of DLD. If you're new here, then let me explain what I'm talking about. Developmental Language Disorder is a speech and language disorder where it can be from a stroke within the mother's womb. I had that happening to me when I was born and grew up with it. I'll do a video about it, talking about it in the future. I am Damien, the author of Finding a Voice, a book that I have written that is available from Amazon and other good online bookstores, or if you live in the UK, from Waterstones. In this video, I will discuss what having DLD is like, what I find difficult, what I wish people would do and shouldn't do, and to show you some guidelines that people could use to interact with people with DLD. So let us get into the video right now. I haven't known any different, so having DLD is quite normal. However, I have problems with it because I'm not very keen on talking to people over the phone. Fortunately, some people are happy to meet up with me face to face, but companies who are recruiting for jobs are always talking to me on the phone, and it does take me a while to accept it. Apart from talking on the phone, the other things that I find difficult are socializing with the people whom I've met from the mainstream world. Quite a few of them don't understand what DLD is and how it relates to me. At some points I feel that people just think they weren't listening to me talking, and if I just left them alone, they would be much happier. I feel that I've lost a few friends due to this disorder, but as I always say, hey ho, such is life. This part of the video will only be short, as it is a lead-on to the next part. But I wish people would listen to this video and heed the information that I give in this video. So let's go on to the next part. What follows are some guidelines on how to interact with people with DLD. It isn't exact, as we are all different, but it gives you a rough idea of what we like and don't like. Don't interrupt them. If you interrupt them because they are speaking too slowly or not answering right away, you will put them off and lose their train of thought. We will always get there, but it just takes a bit of time. So please be patient. Don't finish off their sentences. This is a pet hate of mine. Why finish off their sentences? Are you a mind reader? Do you actually know what we want to say? If you answered no to the last two questions, then by all means, please continue down that road. If you answered to help you out to the first question, then guess what? You're not helping. Again, we will get there in time. This is probably just the most frustrating one out of all of the guidelines, and yet people still do it, even when I have asked them not to. Don't help with finding words. If we get stuck on a word, we will ask you for help or find a similar word. If you give us a word in the place of the word we are stuck on, it's wrong 90% of the time. So let us try to think of it, and if we get stuck, we'll ask you, and then by all means you can help. We usually tell you what the word means. Then you can say, for example, "Oh, you mean duck, don't you? And then we can say yes or no. If it's a no, we'll have thought of it because your explanation has triggered the word to come to the surface, and we will give you a further definition. Please don't ignore us. Like with everyone, ignoring someone is very rude. But ignoring someone with DLD is a road to disaster. There are some people who can chat for England, but even they shouldn't be ignored. We have had several years in the early part of our lives where we weren't able to talk due to having DLD. So when we start learning, we talk through speech therapy. It has given us a bunch of words to learn. So when you ignore us, does that give us the ability to remember those words? Unfortunately not. When someone learns, they usually bounce it off someone else. And that's what we do when we're speaking. Don't think that we are thick or mentally retarded, so we speak slower than you. Why is that a problem? There are a lot of us who are very intelligent. I've known classmates who, with the DLD, who are ace at maths, and yet some people can't even look at maths. So, what makes us thick or mentally retarded? There isn't anything about us that does. We speak slower than you, and we may take longer to learn than you. But at the end of the day, whatever we will do, we will get there in the end. It isn't a race. Please respect our privacy and know at this doesn't mean technology, privacy, or anything like that. With our brains working a lot faster than anyone else, we can get exhausted as we concentrate, translate, and produce the language that we learn, either from someone talking to us or replying to that person. We spend all day collating everything we've learned in our brains into a sensible order, and simultaneously making conversation while trying to slow our brains down to get the words out in order. Sometimes need downtime to recharge, so please respect it if we ask for some alone time. Don't expect that we understand everything. The problem with DLD is that we don't understand everything. If you have a child in a school who do not under any circumstances to expect that they understand everything, this goes with the same with a college or university. Ask them questions to see if we've understood it. Not questions like, Joe, do you understand what happens when two worlds collide? Because it is more than likely that we will say yes. Go further into the question. Test the knowledge of this topic. Don't expect that we want to be controlled. There may be areas of our personalities that we can't handle, whether it is the idea of keeping money, keeping our rooms tidy, knowing what we can or can't say, etc. But that doesn't mean that we want to be turned into robots and to be controlled. Some of us have no choice, but most of us can live on our own. So please don't control us, as that will irritate us. Don't change things without notice. In ways, some things listed under DLD is similar to autism, and this is one of them. When someone says, Joe, tomorrow we are going to the zoo at 3 p.m. Don't get to tomorrow and then when Joe says, hey, it's 3 p.m, let's go to the zoo, say, I'm sorry, Joe, but I can't because of this reason or that reason. It may destroy Joe. Just because from the first moment you mentioned it, he would have been looking forward to it, and now you've just dropped a bomb onto his enjoyment and killed it. What would follow would be either a tantrum or a blanket silence from Joe. If it's a blanket silence, you will not be able to get through to him. So don't change an activity without prior notice, or if it's the day before the activity like in that scenario, don't mention it. Don't expect that we know how to do everything, do you? As previously mentioned, we take longer to learn things. So don't expect that we know how to do something straight away. For example, I'm learning to create videos for my YouTube channel. But if I had someone saying, oh, it's easy, you do this, you do that, you do the other, and they said it at the speed of a category 5 hurricane, do you honestly think that I will know when they left me how to do it? It may take me a lot longer, but be patient. We will find our own way of learning, whatever you want us to do. Have you met anyone who has DLD? Have you used these guidelines? If so, why don't you mention it in the comment section using the words, I will support people with DLD. Have a good week and see you in the next week's video, where I will talk about what DLD is and why it is vital for me to spread awareness of the disorder. Peace out.